What if your life is more than a random series of disconnected events? What if you are more than just a mass collective of disparate chemicals and matter? What if instead you are actually being painted into a grand artistic masterpiece with as much intention as any master painter would evoke into their favorite work of art? What if you really are a living masterpiece? Now, whether or not you believe in some sort of providential painter, it's at least an inspiring metaphor. What if the answer to these masterpiece questions is more than metaphorical? What if it is a scientific reality? Science, especially reductionist science, asserts that while we may discover interesting, seemingly designed components in the physical makeup of the universe, it's all just random chance. There is no inherent or connected purpose to our world or to human existence. This not only conflicts with the thought of you being an artistic masterpiece, it often cheapens the value of life significantly. At least Christopher Hitchens was honest when he stated,
"I'm here as a product of a process of evolution, which doesn't make very many exceptions and which rates life relatively cheaply."
Moreover, so as to completely invalidate inherent design, any observable scientific discovery cannot cross from one domain to another.
While it is commonly accepted that the foundations of chemistry are based in physics and molecular biology is based on chemistry, similar statements become controversial when one considers less rigorously defined intellectual pursuits. For example, claims that sociology is based on psychology or that economics is based on sociology and psychology would be met with reservations.
To the reductionist, scientific domains do not interconnect. How could they? There is no inherent design. Therefore, there is no inherent pattern. But what about completely disconnected, nearly opposite domains like physics and art? One lies in the domain of structure and order, the other in the ethereal and esoteric. One is mostly processed through the left side of the brain, and the other through the right. They can't have congruent connected threads, can they? And if there is observable design at the center of existence, what does that say about reductionist science or naturalistic science in general? For that matter, our forms of art are nebulous in themselves. We can paint, sculpt, film, draw, etc. Use whatever creative outlet we choose most. Every piece of art and most every artist is unique. That's why some people prefer Monet over Pollock or Roy Lichtenstein over Edgar Degas. But there is one constant and contiguous thread through all observable art: color. From paint to pottery to photography, we design, draw, paint, and film in color. Even black and white still operates on the same color spectrum. The baseline component to all observable, esoteric, and diverse art is color. All visible color is processed through red, green, and blue, or what you might know if you work on computers as RGB. The color spectrum looks like this. Let's leave that esoteric, subjective domain for a second and go back to the rigid structure of science. In the same way that the artist crafts everything around color, the universe crafts everything around the atom, everything you see, touch, and with which you interact. From the last apple you ate, to the chair you are sitting on, to the car you recently drove, are made of atomic particles. How they combine determines if a substrate is metal, wood, or plastic, or any other material or field. The atomic determines the makeup of everything, from the mountains to the trees to the oceans, to you. We could say that as the artist uses color as the foundational starting point to all visual artistry, the universe uses the atom as the foundational starting point to all physical matter. If it was on an SAT test, it might read color is to the artist as the atom is to the universe. But what if the atomic combined with the artistic? What if, at the most fundamental foundation of physical existence, you found design? Not mechanical or chemical design, but instead you discovered the building block of all artistry at the center of the building block of all matter. What would that mean? This highlighted passage on the quark is simply from a book on color theory. The quark. It seemed the mysteries about the atom had all been uncovered. Then in 1963, the American physicist Murray Gell-Mann finally discovered the basic building block of all atomic nuclei throughout the universe. The quark. The quark has been a particularly important discovery about the atom, especially to color theorists. The smallest of all provable particles resides between the proton and neutron structure as bundles of quarks. Each bundle is referred to as a baryon, which contains one quark each of red, blue, and green, just as it is with the additive color primaries. The three quarks, when combined together, create white light. At last, the source of color is found in the smallest particle of the atom. Vocationally, I am a graphic designer and owner of a branding and design company. As an artist, I work with color all day. You may be an artist as well, or at least have certainly used your phone to shoot a single selfie or two. All traditional photography is processed in red, green, and blue. All of our selfies are photos of the majesty of the ocean. The color depth of a field of flowers is processed in red, green, and blue. The beauty of all visual art is realized through three colors: red, green, and blue. Now let's look at both the RGB color spectrum and a visual representation of a baryon wrapper, which contains the smallest known particle in the atom that makes up everything. The same three colors that form the basis of art are the same three colors that form all of our physical and material existence, at the foundational level of everything that has been created, from the expanse of the universe to the vastness of the mountain ranges of Yosemite, to the majestic force of the oceans. To you is art. Are you beginning to grasp the significance of this? Let's go back to my first seemingly subjective, if not outlandish question. What if you were actually being painted into a grain? Artistic masterpiece with as much intention as any master painter would evoke in their favorite work of art. At the most fundamental level, of the smallest subatomic element to be discovered, is art. We could conclude that we were truly designed by a master painter, not metaphorically or theologically, but scientifically. Your supposedly random existence is being played out inside of a living painting. Do you live in that reality? Do you see yourself with that much wonder and significance? For centuries, we have been taught to trust science over the philosophies, science over the artistic, and perhaps, most importantly, science over the religious, spiritual, and metaphysical. Modern-day science claims that there is no cosmic purpose to our existence, and even more, that there is no inherent design to our lives, and collectively, to the entire universe. That history itself is nothing more than mere chance and randomness. Can we conclude that science just proved itself wrong? Your existence isn't random. Your place in this world isn't just chance. Your life is more valuable, more expressive, and more artistic than you could have possibly known. Indeed, through its own discoveries, science has spoken. You are a masterpiece.